Hi everybody, I'm Ryan Horn. So a question has been coming up a lot, and that is, Ryan, how do you make those videos that show your screen while your voice, your narration is recorded behind it? I thought I'd take a couple minutes to make a brief video on how to do that. It's called screencasting. And before we talked about the buttons to press and the tools we use to screencast, I thought it might be helpful to talk about a couple reasons why screencast in the first place. So let's get into why screencast. Some examples of screencasting. One is what we're doing right now, and that's I've made a slideshow and I want to record the slides with my voice underneath it. So slides with narration is one reason why you might screencast. Another reason, maybe I want to record a tutorial on how to use a site or how to use a tool. For instance, I have this site here about the Mayflower, and I wanted to have students learn how to use this site. So I might pull up the site on the screen and go through and talk about what the expectations are of this site, how the site actually works. So I tell the kids that to get more information, you click here and read this, and that way the students can watch a short tutorial. Virtual whiteboard. This is a tool called Ziteboard. Ziteboard with a Z. Ziteboard is a free Google Chrome extension. If I was a math teacher, maybe I would use this virtual whiteboard to record how I would solve a math problem, and I can push that out to the students. And then, so far what we've talked about are uses that a teacher might use to create, to give to their students, so the students are consuming what we created. What if we did the other way and talked about how might our students create their own screencasts? Instead of the students consuming, what are they creating? So maybe your students have created a project. They're going to show off their project on their computer and they're going to record their voice underneath. Or maybe the students are going to use Screencastify. This is the tool we're going to use, Screencastify, to, instead of recording their screen, record a video of themselves talking about what they learned or interview other students. So again, this is an example of a screencast about screencasting. And yeah, it is so meta, right? Well, I thought it was funny anyway. But let's get going with the tools we would need to use and how to screencast. So we're going to talk about Screencastify. Screencastify is the Google Chrome extension I would recommend to use to screencast. And it's super simple to use, completely free, and there's so many things that Screencastify can do. Number one, it runs on the Google Chrome browser, so you can use Screencastify on a desktop computer or a Chromebook. You can choose to record only your screen with Screencastify. You can choose to record yourself in the bottom corner if you want as well. Or you can choose to turn your Screencastify into a webcam so it doesn't record your screen at all. It just records only the video, and you will not have the screen in the background. It would only be the video when using Screencastify. You can pause and resume the recording. There are some drawing tools that you can actually draw on your screen. We'll go over those. You can record up to 50 recordings per month. And it does have a limit on how long the video recordings are. It's a 10-minute cap, but that's a long time if you think about it. How about we go through the steps on how I would create, or I would recommend that you do to create a good screencast. Number one, we're going to get that Screencastify extension for Google Chrome. It won't take us long. We'll walk through how to do that. Probably the most important part is you got to do the work. You got to front load. So prepare your content first. If you're recording a slideshow, get all your slides done. Make sure you rehearse them. Make sure the slides are in the order you want and everything, all your ducks are in a row. And then you're ready to record. So let's go ahead and get that Screencastify extension. To get the Screencastify extension, I am going to go to the Chrome Web Store. Once in the Chrome Web Store, here is the Chrome Web Store, I'm going to do a search for Screencastify. You can see I'm already searching for extensions, so if it's on apps or games, make sure to change it to extensions and search the easy for me to say. Search the store. We're going to search for Screencastify. I'm going to press enter. Here it is, Screencastify Screen Video Recorder. I'm going to press the blue Add to Chrome button. Or if this pops up, I'm going to press Add to Chrome here. And when we go to add Screencastify to Chrome as an extension, you're going to get some pop-ups that appear, and we'll quickly go through what you need to click to make that work. Number one, do you want to add Screencastify? Yes, I do. So add extension. It's going to give a couple more pop-ups in just a second, and you can see that it says it's checking to make sure everything on your computer or Chromebook is okay. Now it's added to Chrome, and this has popped up this notification. You'll notice now I have the Screencastify icon on my Google Chrome extensions bar. I'm going to exit out of this tab and go back to my slideshow. Let's talk about how we're going to use the Screencastify extension now that it's installed. So, I have created my slides, or I've gotten my website ready that I want to do a tutorial on. Now I'm ready to record. Let me exit out of my slideshow here. If I was going to do a slideshow as my recording, the first thing I would do is pull up my slideshow, and then I'm not going to record from this view. I'm probably going to record from my presenter view. So I'm going to go ahead and go into presenter view first, get my slides up on my screen, and now I'm going to press record. And the very first time that you go through to record on Screencastify, you have to do this setup process. It's only a few clicks. It takes 30 seconds. First question, where do you want to store your recordings? In Google Drive. That's perfect. So I'm going to press next. Have to sign into your account. Now I'm already signed into my Google account, so when I click sign in here, Screencastify is going to recognize that. Tab recording, yep, you're going to want to turn that on. So when you set up the settings, we're going to click set up tab recording. And I'm going to press allow. Now, what's going on? This video is going to play in the background because I've installed it correctly, and this is Screencastify showing me their tutorial on how it works. I don't need that tab anymore. I'm going to exit out of it. So I have pulled up my slideshow in presenter view. Now I'm ready to record. I'm going to click the Screencastify icon. These are the options I have before I record. I can choose to record the desktop, so I can record anything on my desktop, any program, or I can choose to record a specific tab in Google Chrome. I'm going to demonstrate tab recording. Or if you're using a Chromebook with a built-in webcam or have a webcam, remember you can come and click cam, and that will not record your screen but only record who's on the other side of the camera. Also in tab recording, here's an option, embed webcam. That will add a video of you in the bottom corner of your screencast if you want. If you don't want that, you're going to turn embed webcam off. And then you press record tab when you're ready to go. So when I click record tab, it'll give a countdown, and then I can start recording. Here comes the countdown.
2, 1.
Now it's recording my audio, and I can say here's step 1, here's step 2, and step 3, and when I go to the next slide, it's recording my screen. It's also recording my voice. If you need to pause your recording, click the pause button in the bottom corner. When you need to resume your recording, you press the play button here to resume. What's nice in tab recording, I'm going to resume my recording here, there is a pen button, so you can actually draw on your screen as you record. And then you can come here and clear your screen if you would like. So I'm going to clear that off, and I'll say that I paused. We'll pretend I'm done recording here. I'm done recording. I am ready to check out my recording and save it. I'm going to press the square icon to end recording. You'll notice the keyboard shortcut is Alt-Shift-R to end your recording. Screencastify brings me a screen like this. It starts automatically playing my recording so I can listen to it. I can click up here if I want to rename my recording. Remember, it's saved automatically for me in Google Drive. If I needed to download my recording on my computer, I can save the disk. Where in the world is that recording and how do I give it to other people? I'm going to go to my recent Google Drive files, and I notice that here is the most recent recording. Of course, I could rename this in Google Drive, and I could share this file in Google Drive with whoever I would need to. That's the great way to get that recording out. So that's Screencastify. It's a great tool for doing screencasts, recording your screen and narration. I think you're going to love it. Good luck.